Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to Mike on a Platter. So we got a doozy here. This one is actually near and dear to my heart because I've had my days of fun when I was younger, even as recently as 5-6 years ago. But
Heroin.
yeah, tons of heroin, smack,
Smack.
roofies.
Damn.
All that. I'm just
Roofies
joking.
there?
I don't do all that stuff.
All right. So why is it near and dear to your heart? Tell us why.
Because I think that psilocybin is a big part of our human evolution. And while it may be kind of chaotic, it's also, I think it opens your mind, expands your mind to the fact that we're all energy and that we have the ability to become aware of the patterns and vibrations and frequencies of energy that makes up our body and our mind and our physical being and shake us to the point where we go, wait, maybe there's more here than what I'm feeling and seeing right now. Mm-hmm. So,
I like that.
anyways, so here's the question. What's the question, Poppy? Go.
So do you think taking psychedelics is maybe the best way to reach a certain level of enlightenment? Or to reach a different mindset? Is it a shortcut? Does it just help? Is it what do you think?
Are you asking me or are you asking Matthew?
Matthew.
I'd say for the person who is seeking some kind of shortcut, they're already in the zero. They're already in the negative. When it comes to psychedelics, psilocybin, LSD, any of that stuff, mindset first. So if you walk into psychedelics with essentially a lack mentality, rather like seeking and needing something, scratching your neck because of the smack.
That was Derek. I'm gonna smack you.
Yeah, it's gonna smack you.
For sure,
it really is. So if you are going into it with a mentality of surrender, and wanting to discover and open to anything that it has to offer you, because it is nature, and nature's gonna be nature. You can't have any type of control over it. Then that's the right mentality for it. If not, it's not for that person asking that question.
Okay. So, do you believe that psychedelics such as like mushrooms or LSD should be used in, as a form of healing?
If I may,
Sure,
I think we showed it on one of our podcasts. It was on the cover of Newsweek. There was a picture of a bunch of mushroom, and it says, "Are magic mushrooms the future?" or something to that effect. And they're basically saying that they think that psilocybin is going to be the next biggest thing in psychotherapy since Prozac.
That's funny. It's like our ancestors are looking at us from the grave laughing because they're like, wow.
You mean you guys don't use that regularly?
They're like,
Yeah.
we were using that every day.
And it's like I can't believe you're charging people for it.
Yeah.
I know it grows naturally. It's everywhere. I'll see if I can find that. But anyways, no, it's, I always feel like we've gotten so far away from nature on so many levels. And one of the things that nature has always provided us was answers to our problems. And it comes in the form of herbs and things that grow naturally. It comes in the form of the environment that you're in and the beautiful colors that you can see in nature and in the sky. It comes in the forms of so many things out there in the natural world. And what we've done is we've tried to synthesize it. I'll go ahead and show. This was on the cover of Newsweek, okay? So, Newsweek. Treatment, a new treatment for depression. Okay, this was on Newsweek, and let me try your camera, see if it sees it a little better. Okay, there we go. Newsweek, a new treatment for depression. Okay, and those are mushrooms. And it says at the bottom, Psilocybin, aka magic mushroom, could be the biggest advance since Prozac. Okay, them some big words right there. Wouldn't you agree?
Agreed. I mean, there have been studies where they give mushrooms to like an addict, or to cigarettes or alcohol, and I guess they go through, or not just mushrooms like LSD, right? But they have some kind of like realization where, oh, I don't need that stuff. It's not me, right? And something switches in their brain, and suddenly,
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I have a comment on that. So, medicines, and in my family, there's been lots of therapy and stuff like that, and different people with different medicines and all the stuff that to what the medicines are there for. They're not there to replace what you have to do for yourself internally. What they're there for is to help you calm down. And I think when we talked about meditating, they help you calm your mind down enough that you can experience a non-reactive state or a less reactive state instead of always being in a reactive state. So the medicine in combination with therapy helps you train your brain and undo some of the trauma or whatever it is that you're dealing with, and gets you to that place where you start to experience enough days as you're retraining your brain, enough days of non-reactivity and non-trauma, so that you get used to feeling what it feels like to not be in that state. And then you can wean the medicine off, and then you slowly continue to nurture and repair your mind through repetition and good repetition and good counseling to get to that place where you can then sustain that space on your own.
Yeah.
Does that,
I love that.
Sound about right?
Yeah.
So, and with the psychoactives, it's kind of the same thing. The psychoactives do the same thing, and if you actually, we don't have to pull it up. We don't bore you guys with all of it, but if you look at the chemical composition of THC, psilocybin, LSD, and some of the others that are out there, probably peyote and what's it called? What's the one from the
PCP?
Shut the front door. Ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of these. So what they do is they have, especially LSD, THC, and psilocybin. They all have very similar chemical compositions. They're with the way that the oxygen and hydrogen and carbon all form are very similar in how they work, and they're basically, psychoactives, and they cause more parts of your brain to communicate. That's why you have a more active brain state when you're on those things, because there's more activity going on. So it actually it can help you get out of neural traps that you've made for yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Makes complete sense.
I'm not saying it's the only way. I'm not, I think Matthew said it best. You have to have a mindset going into any type of therapy or even recreational drug use or whatever it is you're going to do. You have to have a certain mindset going into it. What are you going to get out of it?
Yeah.
Why are you going into it in the first place? And that's a very important starting point, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're at a frat house and it's, recreational, you're drinking booze with it, it may have some different effects. I think a lot of people will dabble with it because of the visuals and, it looks cool and definitely not necessarily the right reason to do it. So, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, what he says.
Oh, you party animal.
I know, right? No, it's I've done both. But there's nothing replaces good, clean food, wholesome food sources, well-balanced food sources, positive thinking, training yourself to be a positive thinker, not doing this all the time like I did during Corona.
Sunlight.
Yeah, sunlight, vitamin D.
Go outside.
I'm reminding myself to go outside several times a day when I'm in the office working really busy. Just all those things that you can do to self-care for yourself and slow it all down. You don't necessarily have to go on a psychoactive bender to
But you also do other things, right? Like you spearfish and
oh
you go
yeah,
fishing.
spend a lot
Those are
of
all
time in nature.
therapeutic, and
Oh,
those
very
help.
much so. Yeah.
So you're a pretty active guy.
I am, and that's what's saved me, and kept me
Yeah.
going, and all that is getting back to nature, getting to that slower mind.
And you are very in tune with nature, by the way.
Yes.
Your vibrations echo through this world.
I'm trying, man. This world needs a lot of help right now, and
It does.
I want to try and help it.
Yeah.
So do you ever have these conversations with your kids?
Oh yeah, my son. We just had our third bout of returning to square one. He likes to call it when you talk about things like indivisible numbers or numbers that are repetitive for infinity, and the whole concept of infinity and the beginnings of the universe and a universe that expands and contracts and your purpose here and just all of that stuff that ties you into that trying to get to the essence and the kernel of the beginning when you suddenly realize that it's the figure eight that makes up infinity, where you constantly go back and forth and it never has a beginning, it never has an end. Neither the thought, neither the conversation, neither the math behind it. It's so. And my son's 14. I'm having this conversation with him.
Sounds like a flute, man. I
Yeah.
love it.
So, yeah, he's yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but that's where we're at.
Keep going. Close your eyes.
Keep
and
going.
Okay. All
Find
right.
it.
Okay. So I think where I was going with that is, yeah, got to keep talking about it. Got to get all this, open everybody's minds again and get them out of this rut that we're stuck in.
So Matt, what do you have? So when you you have your following, right, and you promote that kind of stuff all the time.
I promote meditation. I don't necessarily promote like any psychedelics or anything like that. I think there's a huge responsibility that comes with that and a lot of research, and you can't half-ass promote that. Like if you're gonna promote that, you gotta follow through.
Yeah.
And that means anyone who engages with you, who wanting to follow up and know more in regards to their very niche circumstance, you got to be there.
Yeah.
So
You have to be a good steward.
Yeah, there's a huge responsibility with what you choose to promote. So you have to be, just because you dabble with something, doesn't mean.
So you in one of our conversations, you had said that you'd be open to getting a group of people together out in nature somewhere,
Absolutely.
whether it be woods or a desert.
Sure.
Right. And Eric and I have talked about this too.
Oh yeah.
And that is also something that I've never done, but that sounds like an amazing idea, especially.
Wait, what have you never done? Gone out in nature and hung out?
I have, but not to do shrooms or anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you don't have to go out there to do shrooms. Just going out there to be at peace
Oh
with
no,
nature.
well, yeah, of course that, but also
Yeah.
including the shrooms or whatever. It's just.
That's a great place to do it. That's if you're gonna introduce psychoactives in your life, as any type of whatever it is, exploration, maybe it's recreation, maybe it's whatever. Nature is certainly the best place to do it because you're likely to get heightened senses that will pull you into the natural rhythm of life. If that makes sense.
natural rhythm, yeah, I resonate.
You'll start feeling all those natural rhythm vibrations become part of them.
Yeah, and I think there's layers of that when he talks about natural rhythm. Just going outside, you feel that natural rhythm.
Absolutely.
Actually, seeing nature, there's a vibration in that. Consuming it, through your mouth, that's a whole nother vibration. So there's
many
there's
elements in
to
the
it,
experience.
Yeah. And they're all relevant, But if you're gonna practice, start with the base first, as far as practicing daily, and maybe work your way up. So if you don't go in nature at all, I don't think you should go 0 to 100 and just consume nature if you haven't even, felt it, touched it, and see it, on a daily basis. So.
Good words. So, I think the answer is it plays into the equation.
Mm-hmm.
The psychedelics do play into the equation, and it requires responsibility. So be responsible.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I like that, Eric.
Yes,
Cool.
I can dig it.
Thanks, you guys.